So we're here at Morris Lubricants Racing and we're chatting to motorcycle star Guy Martin. We've got mini challenge competitor Lydia Walmsley and former British truck racing champion Dave Jenkins. Huge amounts of experience in the room in your various aspects of motorsport. So I'm going to start with you, Guy, if I can. You got into motorcycle racing as a result of your father having been involved in the sport, and you were in your late teens almost when you got involved.
Yeah, I was. Yeah, I'd been 19 or so, I suppose, when I went racing.
So if you could today look back at your younger self, what advice would you give yourself? What have you learnt along this journey that you would maybe just give yourself that little bit of advice if you were starting from fresh again?
No, I'd have said, you've done all right, boy. I know there's loads of races I could and should have won, and maybe I could have put more effort in to doing different disciplines of bike racing. But yeah, I've been true to myself all the way through by just keeping on doing what I was doing. I've always worked, so yeah, I could have put a bit more effort into the bike racing and a bit more dedication, but I always had to go to work. I always had to, and and that was always the case. And I never wanted to be a one-trick pony. I always wanted me other things that I did, whether it was racing push bikes or fixing trucks or building engines or doing whatever I was doing. So yeah, I'm sure a bit of me would say, no, just dedicate yourself to that one sport and try and master it. But then if I'd have done that, when it all came to an end, what would I have
What would you do then?
What would I have to fall back on? You
were spinning so many plates as well, weren't you? With trying to do, as you say, the push bike racing, the motorcycle racing. What, 3 jobs you were holding down as well?
Yeah, and then I used to drive on the docks, and then I started with the TV work as well, and then all my stuff in and I just if I'd put all that to one side and just concentrated on racing motorbikes. I know I'm jack of all trades, master of none, but I wouldn't have been, No, I've no regrets. So really, I would have just said, just keep on keeping on, boy. But no, I don't regret.
Good.
I don't regret.
Best thing.
I don't regret that. I don't know.
I agree. You can't have regrets. Absolutely, you can't. Lydia, you're still only 18 years of age, but you started at 8 years of age kart racing. So if you were to look back at yourself at 8 years of age, same question to you. What advice?
I'd probably say relax a bit more. Don't be so serious about it. Don't put so much pressure on yourself. I think I was always putting too much pressure on myself to perform that perhaps I didn't enjoy it as much as I probably should have done. So I'm trying to do that now. I'm not saying I didn't enjoy it then, but I was definitely very focused on trying to win, and which is always important, of course, but maybe it was a bit too much pressure. I don't know. I'd probably say be a bit more confident in yourself as well. I think I've always been one of them people where the people around you have more confidence in you than you have in yourself, which is good in a way. It's good to try and stay humble, but have a bit more self-belief, I think, I would say.
Are you like me? I'm my own worst critic. It sounds as though you're similar in terms of the way
I'm very hard on myself, yeah. On the way home from a race meeting, I'm always going through what's gone wrong and try to put it right for next time, which I think is important. It's the way you improve, but yeah, definitely very hard on myself.
I think we all are. Dave's nodding as well. Yeah. So you were 22, was it, when you started truck racing? 1997 was it? We first saw you out. So the 40-year-old Dave Jenkins is now talking to the 22-year-old Dave Jenkins. What would he say?
Sit further up the queue in this meeting so that somebody doesn't nick all the good answers. I think mainly that's the most recent bit of life advice I've got. No, I think what Guy's just said, keep on keeping on. And I think what Lydia said, absolutely. Listening to her today, it's, she draws so many parallels with me, then things that I've probably missed in the past. Take yourself too seriously. I have been taking myself too seriously. You put yourself under too much pressure. You're always better when you step away from it. And I think as I've got a little bit older and as my family circumstances have changed, it changes why you go racing, it changes where your focus is, all those sorts of things. And the results are coming out of me. Now I've chilled out a bit with it. But I think the main bit of advice to give to any youngster, or for me to look back at, and I have managed to achieve this along the way, is but just enjoy every day, enjoy every race, because life passes you by at such an alarming rate. And 1 minute you're 22, and then exactly 10 minutes later you're 40 and a little bit, like I am now. Yeah, it just goes fast. So life passes you by so quick. So enjoy every little bit of it and every turn that you make along the way.
Fantastic advice, isn't it, from all three of you? You're a family man now. You've got 3 children. From a huge racing family. What would you say if your children wanted to race, Dave?
Oh dear. Yeah. I don't know whether my children will race or not. I don't think I'm going to have a lot of choice in the matter, am I? It seems like they've pretty well got it in their blood, and it's almost a foregone conclusion. I would like to think that I'm going to be able to look at some of the things that we've just talked about and try and give them some of that advice, and perhaps take a slightly different approach to it if we end up in that situation. But I'm lucky that I don't feel the need to fulfill my life through my children. I don't hope I don't end up being a pushy parent. I just hope they do what they want to do, and it'll be even better if they're good at it along the way.
Yeah, just find something. I suppose it's an unfair question for you, Lydia, at 18 years of age. But if you were to have a family, your father is here and has seen you race. How would you feel about if you had a family watching them race, or if they wanted to?
Well, I'd definitely support them if that's what they wanted to do. Like Dave just said, life passes you by. You've got to do what you want to do when you want to do it. And I've had such a fantastic childhood through motorsport. I remember watching my dad when I was still in a pushchair, and it's been brilliant. And I've loved my childhood. So if that's what my children wanted to do, then definitely I'd try and make it happen for them. But I mean, it's definitely not something I'm thinking about for a very, very, very long time. So yeah.
And Guy, you've got what, 2 dogs, a cat, and a 3-year-old.
Yeah.
I don't think the cat or the dogs will be racing. But if
you haven't seen Nigel. You haven't seen Nigel. He's the Labrador. Well, the yellow Labrador. Yeah. Oh, he's madness. Yeah. He's got a bit of a background with UK.
But what about if your 3-year-old at the right time wanted to go and do something?
If young Dot wanted to go and race, I'd help her along the way. Of course I would. But I think, like my dad helped me, but it all came from me. I wanted to do it, and I had to save up my money. I had to go work in daft jobs to go on. So, I've not had massive adversity, but I've seen a fair bit of adversity to be able to get what I wanted, to be able to go racing. So yeah, I would help her, but she'd have to show a fair bit of commitment to the cause before I helped her along. You get what you get.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Adversity,
rather than just be a flash in the pan idea.
Yeah.
Make sure that the commitment is there.
Yeah.
But from a parent's point of view, how do you feel about putting your children you through what we've put our parents through?
And are still putting them through.
Yeah.
Does that not bother you? Because it's a good job my mum and dad don't know half the things I've been up to along the way.
Yeah, but I think if you're that person, you've got to have a kick, haven't you? You've got to have a kick. Now, hopefully you can get that kick by going and doing some, whether it's race a mountain bike, race a motorbike, race a car, whatever it is, right? Or they're going to go down the other road and they're going to go getting off their face on drugs. And I'd rather, I don't know, that might be safer. I don't know. But I'd rather be in a bit more of a controlled environment and do it in some form of racing, or just challenging themselves, whether it's going and race a push bike or something like that. Because we always you sort of see someone's dedication, because you see young kids racing, don't they? And then as soon as there's a fine beer and women, that's it, innit? You see, they go off the rails. So it's just it's helping them enough, isn't it? The hunger comes from within.
Passion's got to come from within.
It's got to come from within. But
you've
got to, like you say, I don't want to become, like we call them motocross dads. Yeah, they're trying to do it.
Karting dads. Yeah. We've all seen them. We've all seen them. Lydia, I mean, Dave made a really valid point as well. You were saying previously that your mum comes to the race meetings, but she spends more time probably not looking at you racing than she does. Put yourself in her shoes, because it's potentially your family member that's out there.
I don't think you can until you've got that connection with someone. I don't think I mean, obviously, I've not experienced that yet. I don't think I can particularly. I don't get it when she doesn't see the race. I don't understand. What's the point in you being there? I don't get it. But I think you'd have to be in that situation to understand. I'm sure there'll probably become a point where I'm too nervous to watch as well. But yeah, I don't understand it yet.
Well, that's it for the moment from our brand ambassadors here at Morris Lubricants Racing, from Guy Martin, from Lydia Walmsley and David Jenkins. But keep your eye on the website and on social media for more content that's coming up very shortly.